The earth is flat. Ooh, that just sends shivers down some people's spines whenever they hear this concept. It can be so alien, so offensive, so ridiculous. It stirred up a lot of heat, stirred up a lot of passion amongst various communities, especially those within academics or pseudo-academics or wannabe academia or the intellectuals of the online community. I'm going to bring us back because I have this particular worldview, which, by the way, is exactly what it is. It's literally a view of the world. This particular worldview helped me personally to where I am today. I will tell you, I'm not here to, convince people what to think about the shape of the world or anything. As a matter of fact, I don't even consider myself to be a regular flat earther or a flat earther at all, really, because I have my own cosmological view that has evolved from going from a spherical globular model to a flat earth, or I should say to a hollow earth model, to a flat earth model. And it just spiraled. It just kept going and going and growing. So I have a unique worldview. I have a unique cosmological view that I've taken bits and pieces of things that resonated from different cosmological views, different cosmologies over time, and different people in the modern age, in my life that I've met. So I wouldn't say that I'm a spherical, wobbling, rotating, flying through the vacuum of space glob earther. But I'm also not a true, genuine flat earther that thinks that the world is flat and it's on a disc and, whatever it may be. Oh, that reminds me. I'm actually going to put a note of that. Give me a thumbs up if the audio is good, if you don't mind, please. I'd love to see a bunch of thumbs ups in the chats real quick. I am going to be taking calls today. So if you stay tuned, if you can get past the first half, we're going to be taking calls. This might be a longer video because I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about this topic. So what was I talking about? I want to add a note here. I was talking about not being a spinning, flying glob Earth model person. Glob Earth. I don't know. I can't remember what I was going to talk about, but I put a little note there for later. All right, cool. So let's go back to where it all began. Let me check the chat. Thumbs up. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to work on the audio a bit. The flat Earth model. Or the flat Earth idea, I should say. That's what I wanted to put in here. Let's start with that, actually. Here's where I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with, what do flat earthers believe? Let's start with that. What do flat earthers believe? Okay. No, I don't want to start with that. Hold on. I'm a live streamer. I'm doing this on the fly. All right. So I'm going to bring that question in here just a bit, right around the time when I talk about after I talk about reactions, okay, and the anger. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll save it more for last, actually. So let's begin with the gateway conspiracy. Okay, this is what I consider flat Earth to be. I do consider it to be a conspiracy. I consider it to be a gateway conspiracy that leads into all kinds of other rabbit holes and interesting tidbits and delicious factoids and information and research. That's why I love the flat Earth. I love it. I would hug this if I could. Not so much because I totally agree with all of the precepts and all of the whatever. It's just because I respect, I bow to this concept as a conduit that led me to more research, more beliefs of my own, more individual, unique, novel theories that I have come up with, and many of you in the truth-seeking community, at least ones, in my area of our local branch of the tree of truth seekers. This has helped me immensely in order to research and study and find things out. And not just to research the novel ideas, the new ideas, but to have a better idea of the things that I had been taught before in academics. I had to go back to the books, crack those bad boys open, and study what academics brought to the table when they were trying to indoctrinate me throughout kindergarten, elementary school, junior high school, parts of college, etc. I had to go back and remember some of the things that I considered to be trivia, only good for if I was, my life's goal was to win at Jeopardy or something, which is how I see that today. I don't see much of what's being taught in academics as very useful in general, or practical in your everyday lives for your average person. Okay. Specialty occupations or whatever, perhaps, maybe, it can depend. But anyways, this is the gateway conspiracy for me. Okay. This is what really just lit a fire under my butt to go much deeper, to get involved, to take this seriously, and to do what I do full time today as an explorer, an author, a researcher, a public speaker. And so I have this to thank. And so I'm honored that this was a part of my path. It has led to minds expanding, asking questions, which is really the basis of the scientific method and what people today call science. Science is a collection of information. Okay, science shouldn't be bigoted. Science shouldn't be biased. Science shouldn't have representatives, and it shouldn't be a religion, basically, in my personal opinion. Science is information, and that is all that it is. It's a collection of information, not right information or wrong information. It is a collection of information. The word literally means information. It means knowledge. Okay, what you gain into your mind through your experience in life is your science. It is your knowledge. And that is personal to each and every one of you. Academics refer to science and they mean academia. They mean agreed upon science that we agree on as a sports team. And they have their flags and they have their NASA t-shirts and they have their government merch and stuff. And they have turned true science or knowledge into a bandwagon, into a team of bullies that are going to go around like jocks, picking on and prodding and making fun of and poking fun of anybody that stands against them. And I'm against that. And I will always be against that. So that's why I support and stand up for alternative cosmologies, alternative belief systems. There's people out there today that are afraid to talk about this. As a matter of fact, you don't see that many videos anymore about it. There's good reason for that. I'll come back to that. The way that this has helped me in my own personal journey is having an alternative view, an ancient view, okay, of the world. And this right here is just a graphic, okay? This is just a fun graphic for this particular presentation. Please don't look at this graphic and say, oh, that's the way the world looks. That's what it is. That's what all flat earthers think, etc. Stop. This is just for fun. This is to help you out. This is a graphic to jog your imagination so you can see beyond the graphic. All right. And I like this one because it's not just like a disc flying upwards through space or something weird. This is just a general graphic just to give you an idea. There's no firmament or dome over it that you can see or anything else that I believe in. But this particular theory has led to minds expanding. My own, it is on my path, it has helped me in understanding how the apocalypse happens. I believe the apocalypse itself is personally more important than the flat earth or the spherical earth or anything. But this has been a stepping stone to leading me to understand that there is a cyclical apocalypse, a cataclysm that has been recorded and documented and is evident from country to country as it has left ruins and remains and its signature in books and pictures and paintings and frescoes, etc., petroglyphs across time that are still here today that we have become blinded to as a form of psychological scotoma where we cannot recognize what is obviously surrounding us and compromising our entire modern history, our modern world. It is very important. It is detrimental to this cosmological view, okay? a cosmological view is important in being a stepping stone to understanding the apocalypse itself. For me personally, okay, I'm very appreciative of it because it's crucial to understanding why there was a vapor canopy, why there was a time when the atmosphere was oxygenated, or we had a great oxidation event in times past, and why that led to gigantism, and how that connects to, do you see how there's implications? There's dominoes that start with knowing where we are, knowing the shape of the world around us. And this is happening, I believe, to get a little bit deeper, inside of us as well. This is happening in your very minds, where there are worlds upon worlds building. Your world builder, through your thoughts, through your emotions, through your feelings, through your perspectives. Your world views will shape the worlds inside of your mind too. What's up, everybody in the chat? I mean, I'm a live streamer. Let me say what's up. Ooh, Ghetto. What's up, Ghetto? Martin Kinney's motto with the mountain very in the center is what drew me in. Yes, shout out to Martin Kinney. Hey, I got to give thanks to all the OG flat earthers too. Martin Kinney's definitely one of them. I mean, there's a whole list of them. You know what I mean? All the OG ones. I don't want to you mentioned Martin Kinney, which I totally vibe with Martin Kinney. He's got good energy. And I like that model that he made too. That got really popular before he flew to Africa. I don't know what he's doing now, but I think he's like in Africa somewhere doing something. Anyways, all the people, you know, even people who were like my perceived nemesises, or a nemesis of mine, you know, that still helped me. You know, people I've met along the path, people who still saw the earth as being, you know, a different shape, not the Neil deGrasse Tyson pear-shaped earth, a little chubbier. Not the Bill Nye mascot cartoon guy shaped earth or anything. Anyways, yes, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. All right, where was I going with this? Let's move on. So this helps me to understand the apocalypse a lot better, especially knowing that there is a dome, knowing that this is a closed system. All right, and that inside of that closed system, pressure is constantly building up, and that necessitates a pressure release. And that there is a sub-world or an underworld. This is just a top-down view. It doesn't show you the dome. It doesn't show you the fractal verse around and beyond and above and below. It doesn't show you the underworld. If we were to flip this upside down, you could see that it's like a flower that has tunnels and caverns and stuff. And it's not actually, in my mind, a disc, and that's it. Nothing above, nothing below, whatever. That's weird to me. But I'm still thankful for that disc shape being introduced as a concept for me to ponder so that I could grow and add to it. And take another puzzle piece and go, wait a minute, oh, it's got an underworld. Wait a minute, oh, it's got a dome. Wait a minute, and I keep putting more and more puzzle pieces together. So this has helped me personally in understanding why the apocalypse happens, how it happens, how often it happens, recognizing the signs, the omens, the things that are happening right now in our world have a lot to do with the earth itself, have everything to do with the earth itself. From sinkholes opening up larger and larger, more and more around the world, to more and more earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, lights, strange lights, plasmoids, plasma filaments, UFOs being seen in the skies, explosions, loud booms, and all of that goes back to this for me. And it helps me to understand why. I can hear about these things and go, oh yeah, I understand why that happens. I have a grasp. I have a good idea, as opposed to academics that, you know, or people that don't have an alternative cosmological view. It doesn't make sense. Many things are still a mystery as to what's going on and why they happen. But anyways, this has helped me immensely in building and putting together my little contribution to the truth-seeking community and to the truth-seeking world at large. It's helped me to understand the current events, the apocalypse, the omens. But let's look at the other side of that coin. The other side of the coin are the people who have been indoctrinated into a spinning, wobbling, tilted, flying through empty, uncharted vacuum of space, chasing after a huge fireball theory. Okay. That's the other side of the coin. And the people on the other side take many forms. And all of us, I'm going to speak for us all, okay? Even though there might be exceptions, all of us came from that world. You've gone through the school system. You went through kindergarten. You saw the globe in the classroom. You went through elementary school. They taught you about gravity and all these things. You went through high school and they taught you biology and geology and astrology, the names of the planets, and your whole worldview was just being builded. It was being built by other people, by somebody else, and they hid the ancient cosmological views, and it only made reference to it in passing, almost as a joke, almost as if we should be so thankful that we have crawled out from underneath those rocks that we lived under for 5,000 years, almost 6,000 years, I really should say. If you look at the timeline's off when people are trying to support the spinning, wobbling, tilting, flying globular model, and they will straight up lie and tell you, oh, it's thousands of years old. Yeah, you might have a little tiny flicker of evidence throughout the historic record, pal, but in general, the flat earth, in general, okay, model, this is how people as a majority have seen the world across nearly every culture across time. So, I don't feel so bad. I'm sitting in the majority across time. Okay, they're trying to manipulate you into thinking, oh, that's archaic. Only a few people believe that. Those were like cavemen and backwards thinking people. But most of the civilized world, wrong. Most of the civilized world believed that the earth was flat across time in general. If you look at all the time periods going all the way back, but they won't regard that. They have made mascots out of their heroes, and they also won't acknowledge the alleged faults of their heroes either. So intellectual superstars of academia, they will say, look, that person talked about how the world might be a sphere, but they won't talk about how that same exact person talked about how physical giant human beings existed and how that other person believes monsters existed, actual literal monsters, and how, this is how they saw God and all these other strange beliefs. They won't want to bring those to the surface. They hide those when it comes to the giants whose shoulders they stand upon. Because they're embarrassed, because they don't want to have to acknowledge, oh yeah, that's right. Well, this person who may have believed that the earth was a spinning, wobbling, flying glob through space also believed in, really strange concepts and ideas that we're not too proud of. Anyways, the reactions from these people in general, okay, range. There's a whole spectrum of reactions. Most of them and I'm just going to talk about what I have seen and experienced on my path. Most people are just ignorant. They don't know. They have no idea. They're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's strange. That's different. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. That's literally, they're just in the dark. They don't know. And because they don't know, many of them don't care, because many of them have not been brought up to have a mind of curiosity, to be truth seekers, to be philosophers or intellectual explorers or whatnot. And that's okay. I accept that there are people like that. And I believe that every person on earth serves a particular role and a purpose, good, bad, or otherwise. They all have their purpose. They all have their place. I'm sharing my place with you. Okay. My place is to convert others to do what I do, to walk my path. I insist that my path is the only path and this is the best one. So get over here, all you academic ball earthers or whatever. No, that's not my point. That's not my purpose. I understand that because of this concept, because of this worldview, I understand that we're going through a cycle right now where that's not going to be the case. Most people are going to believe, most people's views, their perceptions of reality have been utterly flipped upside down, and it has everything to do with cosmology. It has everything to do with the earth itself. I understand that. I'm happy and I'm thankful that I feel I am one of the rare few people that understands this and knows this. So I'm not trying to go change the world. That's the world's job. It's the world's job to change the world. The reason the world is changing is because of the world. The world is doing this. So I'm not trying to fight the world. But I am thankful to be an exception during these particular times. I'm thankful to have been born for such a time as this. But the reactions range. I've seen a lot of fear. People get jolted. They get angry. Oh, lots of anger. Oh my God, especially in online communities where people have no boundaries, like where there are no real laws and people skirt gray areas, bordering all the way into almost breaking the law by physically threatening the lives of other people who have a literally different worldview, which is weird because we live during a time where people can look at a man that puts on a dress and call him a woman. And that's promoted and that's totally acceptable and fine. But how dare you have this worldview? You're an idiot. You're a moron. And I hope that you die and blah, blah, blah. And this is the type of weird thinking that people have where they want one, but the other one's ridiculous to them. And that's just an example. There are many examples of this world that we live in. It's hypocritical, to say the least. So I find it interesting. Many of the people who are flat earthers or truth seekers of many different types and kinds across the world are scratching our chins every time we watch all of you people out there react and just get triggered and angry and upset. And that's the temptation. They want you to get triggered and angry and upset because they have lost the intellectual war that's happening. They've lost the spiritual war. They've lost the intelligence war. They've lost it all. Once they start resorting to name calling, once they start getting in their feelings and backed into a corner and start biting like a dog, to use a simile. So they want you to do the same. They want to bring you down to that level. They don't want you to walk around with your head held high, rational, reasonable, intelligent, open-minded. That scares the crap out of people who are literally wearing jerseys in the form of neckties and collars and going to work and proud of the school system and proud of their upbringing. Their whole world is coming crashing down on them. This threatens their purpose, and their purpose is to be a slave. If you see things through that perspective, this is my perspective, okay? The reason that this has changed, the shape of the earth has been changed, and the reason that there's suppression of information and whatnot is because there is still slavery on earth. I'm getting pretty deep right now. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. Ghetto, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, I appreciate you. It's a rare thing to understand so much. At the same time, be humble and not push our views onto somebody else, especially our family members. But it's not easy. Hey, I'm with you. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, Ghetto. I appreciate you. Now, there's many reactions. Anger's one of them. Fear in the form of insults. Okay. And that just shows me where we are on the apocalypse timeline. When I see so many people, like it's like watching Revenge of the Nerds, where the jocks are all these ball earth academics that are going around picking on all the nerds who have these, Dungeons and Dragons mentality where they have different worldviews. And so they're being picked on, they're being insulted, they're being put down. And it tells me the times that we live in, because I believe that happens every time we get close to a major shift. Those types of things. We have certain omens that pop up every time we get close to this major shift. And we are, believe me, close to a major shift. Different reactions across the world. But the main one that I see in online communities is anger. No restrictions, just troll after troll after troll crawling out from under their bridges, excited to smash and to put down people who have literally a different worldview. And this worldview, for some reason, is not protected the way that some of these other strange, weird, upside down worldviews today are. People have their own views of reality, their own views of what is real to them and their perceptions and stuff. And many of those are actually protected legally. This one is not. This one's a free-for-all. This has been tossed out to the dogs to tear apart. Like crocodiles, ripping at raw meat that's been tossed to them. It's not protected. Why not? Why not? Why isn't this type of a belief system protected when various religions across the world, the flying spaghetti monster is protected by religion, but the flat earth is not? Various belief systems. So it stirs up a lot of anger, and these people have an outlet, finally, to just pour all of their anger into. To try to to try to use that sports team mentality to get people onto their side. Gone is the day where philosophers abound in this world. We used to be a people philosophical. We used to be a people who would have the maturity to speak about various subjects over dinner or out on the porch, or talking about the deeper things of life, the implications, the roots, the origins, the end of all things, the meaning behind it. And now that's been shunned. Now, if you try to talk about anything other than your purpose that has been handed to you on a silver platter, by academics, by the governments of the world, you are now an outcast. You're not going along to get along. You're not going along with the system. And there's a lot of people that go along to get along too. There's a lot of people that hear, and you're all very meek and quiet and watching and stuff, but sometimes silence is a form of consent. But regardless, you're in control of your mind. My point here is that people become very angry to this. This pisses people off beyond all reason. Why? Why does it piss people off? Why are there so many angry people on the internet? Why is it that has been suppressed? If I try to type in why the flat earth model is important on YouTube, you won't find it. I can't find it. The only thing that it is the first 1,000 videos are flooded with hatred for this particular concept. I know for a fact, no matter how popular this particular video that I'm doing right now becomes, even if it has 1 million views, even if it becomes viral, it's not going to be at the top of the list. It won't be anywhere near it. There is no promotion whatsoever. It's not a fair playing field. And that's weird, because there's all kinds of strange beliefs and ideas out there that are pushed to the top of the list. Everything that you will see in the search results on any platform will be propaganda, will be hatred. It's like back during, World War II or whatever, when they would like throw leaflets and pamphlets out over Russia that tries to, get the Russians to see things a certain way, or vice versa, China, it doesn't matter. But it's propaganda. It's not fair. It's not even. It's not, hey, let's all put our chips on the table and let the people decide for themselves. It is literally suppressed. And then you have certain viewpoints from these videos. So people will say, what do flat earthers believe? And then they'll even try to trick you. They'll use deception, making it look like it might be a video explaining what the flat earth theory is all about, and something actually intellectual about it. But then it will go off into a tirade of insults or mockery or trying to debunk this particular theory. And it's just flooded everywhere. So, for example, I've seen videos whenever I pull it up and they say, what is it? What do flat earthers believe? Because a lot of people would like to know, what do flat earthers believe, right? And I'll tell you, I'm happy to tell you, as somebody that has been considered myself a flat earther for many years, I can tell you exactly what I believed, okay? And I can tell you exactly what all flat earthers believe. It's very simple. But you watch these internet videos and they're saying ridiculous stuff that's not true, just to get views, just to piss people off so they get attention, and so that everyone's talking in their comment section and they make a lot of money. They're selfish. It's money motivated. That's it. It's what's that word? I've seen some trolls use that word when you're trying to, clout. It's clout chasing, which is funny because those same clout chasers, trolls and otherwise, will use those words that they are and project it onto people who are being genuine and honest and heartfelt and true, trying to say that we're the clout chasers or whatever. That's so basic. That's so mundane. Like, how easy to just take what you are and project it onto somebody else. You know what I mean? To call names too, not like without any real substance, just to be a name caller. And to me, that shows academics is losing the intellectual race. Okay, and this is a race, the way I see it. But the anger, and they'll have videos like, what do flat earthers believe? And then they'll show you. I just watched one where they're like, flat earthers believe that the earth is a disc, nothing underneath, nothing above, like a magic trick. that's flying upwards. All things in the heavens are just flying upwards, and that's how they explain gravity. What kind of bull crap garbage? I'm watching this and I'm like, these people don't know anything about the worldviews that they're claiming to be teaching you about. They've done zero research, none. They're listening to gossip and rumors on the wind. Have not obviously sat down and discussed things with multiple flat earthers or done research from multiple perspectives to try to get the understanding of what these people actually believe. I'll tell you exactly right now. Would you like to know? I will tell you what all flat earthers, everyone from top to bottom, believes. They believe the earth is flat. That's it. If you hear anyone else trying to tell you they believe that there's a dome over the earth, wrong. Not all flat earthers believe there's a dome over the earth. They believe that God is, they're trying to hide God, wrong. Not all flat earthers believe in God. There are agnostics, there are atheists, there are all kinds of people who are still flat earthers across different communities. There are very wealthy and prominent flat earthers, B.O.B. being one of them. And then they try to make B.O.B. look like a moron. There are doctors, there are pilots, there are people who are prominent within your very own areas of expertise, people that you would normally typically look up to and honor and salute, etc., who are flat earthers. But they hide that. They don't want to acknowledge those people. They just feel sorry for those people, and they just, you know what I mean? Everyone else, they're just going to insult. But yeah, all these videos about what flat earthers believe. Listen, the only thing that they believe is that the earth, in general, aside from mountains and valleys and things of that nature, is level, that it's flat. And specifically, I would say they could all agree that the water level, in general, without waves and things like that taken into consideration, is level and flat. Okay? Now, that's not exactly what I believe. Like I said, I'm not a flat earther. I'm not any earther. I'm an everything earther. I like to see all the different pieces, okay? But for a bunch of ignorant people, which is what they are, it's evident by their videos that they're putting out. People who claim to not be ignorant, people who claim to be the pillars of their intellectual associations, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy, claim to know the utter knowledge, the utmost of knowledge on the subject. And when it comes to actually knowing what these people have studied and researched and the science behind it, they know very little. It's obvious. It is apparent by the way that they discuss it or avoid discussing it. If I'm being honest about things I've seen others do, I don't see philosophy. I don't see a genuine, heartfelt debate or discourse. I see debates that are set up where people have already made up their mind. They're not willing to listen or consider what the other person has to say. That's a debate. When you regard, when you re-regard, when you look at something again and reconsider it, you don't have to take it. You don't have to accept it. But when your debate is based on, it's like your favorite football team versus the football team you hate the most. That's not a debate. That's not trying to get people to one side or the other. It's just entertainment. It's a form of gladiator fighting and, waving around your man parts and seeing who's is bigger and stuff. And it's pathetic to me personally. I see it as being pathetic. So I stepped away from all of that a long time ago. I'm still tempted from time to time, okay? Because they try to tempt us to get back into that, to engage in debates and to get you, and it's endless. It's just endless. It's endless name calling. It's endless passive aggressive insults and stuff like that. So I like to step back and be proud, not angry because I don't like them, the people that hate on another worldview, but I am proud. And I am oh so thankful that I am not like them. Instead of saying I don't like them, I am not like them. And then it brings a smile to my face when I realize the truth. Okay? So yeah, what do flat earthers believe? That's the only thing in general, is that they believe that the earth is flat. Not all flat earthers think the earth is flying or moving at all. Some people believe there is a dome. Some people believe that there is different things to the dome. Like that whole Antarctica experiment, by the way. the ultimate experiment to prove blah, blah, blah. I have come up with many different ideas and theories about how the luminaries, which is what you're looking at moving around the surface there, how they can go or appear to go all the way around you when you're in Antarctica, and the Earth can still be flat in general. But these people, man, they're front runners. They jump on their joy trains, to quote NASA, and they just become front runners. They don't, when questioned, this is why they get angry. They can feel backed into a corner when they don't have the answers to certain things. They get very upset and angry. And most of that comes from them not even studying the opposition. If you're going into a debate, you should go in well prepared by studying the opposition, not by listening to random gossip, not by asking ChatGPT or whatever, what do flat earthers believe or whatever, and just getting a general gist of the idea. It's deep. This cosmology, okay, all these alternative cosmologies are very deep at their core, but they're being minimized. They're being dismissed. They're being brought down to almost a speck, to nothing. And that's and the people who hate them so bad, they will accept that. They'll say, yeah, that's all they deserve. That's it. Because you're inhuman. That's what that boils down to. And their mentality, they're trying to get all of you to look at certain truths, certain conspiracies, certain novel theories, and the people that believe them, and they're trying to transform the hatred and the anger and the confusion of the topic and shift the focus from the topic, which is in their mind, all that hatred is in their mind, to the person, to the community of people. And that takes us into acceptance, making it acceptable, making little allowances for people who would bully and berate and call names and straight up threaten the lives of people who have a different worldview. I say shame on you personally, on all of you. That's the majority of people on Earth that I'm talking to, because many people do that type of thing. And if you don't, you watch it, you allow it, you accept it, which is a little breaking of one of the 10 commandments. It's not that you shall not lie. It's you shall not tolerate lies, and therefore liars. You shall not tolerate false witness. You shall not tolerate bullying. You shall not tolerate. But then again, the world's corrupt. The world's a messed up place, and that's the way it is for now, which is why I love to talk about the apocalypse. There will come a day when the world will go back to being flat. There will come a day when the world will go back to the old ways, the old belief systems. Philosophy will be restored to this world. Ideas will abound in this world. That day is coming, and it comes along with the apocalypse. So that's why I love it. That's why I can't wait for this world to change. Now, lastly, before I start taking some calls, why is this important? Well, as I said to begin with, cosmology is important to me because it helps to make sense of things that do not make sense whenever I look at it from an academic perspective. And notice I say academic and not scientific. This is very much scientific. All the different theories. Shoot, the flying spaghetti monster is scientific. I could be scientific, and I have on quite a few videos about ridiculous sounding concepts like the flying spaghetti monster, the one-eyed purple people eater, Humpty Dumpty, etc. Things that just on the surface people dismiss. It's like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. It's stupid to you. Be honest. Start saying to me whenever you make these assertions. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. Because then you're just being a name caller, and you've lost. You've lost. Okay? If there was a debate, you lost it. The moment that you asserted something definitely, when in reality, it's your own perspective. And let me do this. I want to share with you various reasons why people get so in their feelings about the flat earth. Not because they think it's wrong. It is not because of that. Okay? People are not angry to the point of, saying that you shouldn't have children and you shouldn't procreate. And this is why this, like being just insulting. It's not because this is wrong. That's not it at all. There's all kinds of things that are wrong in the world. We need to make mistakes to grow as a people. They're not angry because it's wrong. These are why it's angry. These are the reasons why it's angry. These people are angry because of the flat earth. It contradicts, to them, centuries of accumulated scientific evidence. Astronomy, physics, geology, and navigation all points to them to a spherical earth. So it's contradictory. When things are contradictory, they throw a wrench into our minds. They throw us off. We're not thankful for those times. We're caught off guard. We're caught unexpectedly. And so the natural reaction, the way that you have been brought up in this world, is to emotionally respond to that instead of being patient, considering it, wondering why this is happening, and processing it. You're not taught these things. Most parents on earth, excuse me, I'm so sorry, but this is my perspective. Most parents on earth are bad parents. Okay? They grow up to be bad teachers, bad pastors, bad preachers, bad authority figures of all types. That's my experience. Okay? And I am not perfect. I have made many mistakes in this life, but my imperfection doesn't negate the fact that I can see that the majority of the world is bad people. Okay? And when they're brought up in bad ways, they're not taught wholesome ways. They're not taught healthy ways. They're not taught how to acknowledge and respond and react and parry whenever a wrench is thrown into their system psychologically, intellectually. So they default to a biting dog, or to becoming a biting dog. The next thing why they get so upset is photographic evidence. Hold on, these are things why they're wrong, or why they feel flat earthers are wrong. Sorry. It makes them embarrassed for humanity. They're angry because they feel embarrassed for all humans on earth. Oh my God, I can't believe this person's like a human being, like I'm a human being. Other people that are going to look back on humanity are going to see how stupid humans were. The idea that people in 2026 believe the earth is flat feels like a civilized or a civilizational step backwards to them. To them. Remember that. To them. It feels like a step back in civilization, a step backwards. Well, I say I'm all for it. I'm going to moonwalk myself personally all the way back into the ancient past because I feel personally, and for me, my evidence in my research has pointed to the very fact that people were more intellectual going backwards, going back in time. Despite modern technology, people are retards. They're dumb. They're stupid. In general, they don't have a high intellect. They don't have a high IQ. Are there exceptions and anomalies? Yes, there are. But going back in time, I can see evidence, mountains of it, that people were better people going further back in time. They were better intellectually. They were better emotionally. They were better in their civilizations. They were better in all ways going back in time. They were healthier. Next one, it makes them feel like an attack on science itself. For people who deeply identify with scientific thinking, which I think means academic thinking, flat earth feels like a personal affront. I will tell you this much. It is. It is an affront, but it's not personal. It's not to you, right? That would be a disservice. I would be a hypocrite if I was to say it's an affront to you personally. I think you're stupid, you globe head. You know what I mean? I start calling people names because of their belief systems or their worldviews. I shame on the flat earthers for doing that crap. Try doing that crap around me and I'm going to call you out in person, on my channel, in the chat, in the comments, or otherwise. I don't care. I don't tolerate that going the other way. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be making fun of other people for standing in a place where you yourself once stood. Shame on you for that. It's associated with stupidity. That's another reason why people just get so angry about it, which is funny because they're stupid in general. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy by Mike Judge? It's literally prophecy. The movie is showing, it's nothing about that movie is fictitious. It's embellished. It's cartoonified. It's larger than life, but that's the world you live in and that you're walking into. You're heading into a world of idiots, a world of idiocracy. A world where people collectively don't really know much about anything. It's Wall-E world. I mean, you know Wall-E? the cartoon robot or whatever, and in the future all the people have left Earth because they don't know how to take care of the Earth, that they're viruses to the Earth itself, just like Agent Smith in The Matrix makes a point of, to Neo or to Morpheus. It's associated, this concept right here is associated with stupidity. Why? I don't really want to, that's rhetorical. I don't really want to know why. I know why. It's because they're stupid themselves. When you shine the light, the cockroaches run. They don't like the light being exposed on them. I'm sorry, but most of the world, from what I personally have seen in my limited experience with most of the world, okay, has been that most people are not very intelligent. And when they realize that they're not very intelligent, they start to get pretty emotional. They start getting kind of full of anxiety and nervous and embarrassed and whatever. I've had people tell me that. People that I actually know have told me, like sometimes you say things and it just makes me feel kind of dumb. I'm like, why? That's terrible. Don't feel dumb. They're like, well, you just know so much. You're so intelligent. I'm like, yeah, but you know so much too. You know lots of things that I don't know anything about. I'm not going to feel dumb whenever you're helping me, fix my car. When you're teaching me some mechanical process that I don't know because my dad left when I was young and I had no one to teach me mechanics or anything like that. I'm not going to feel dumb. I'm not going to feel down on myself. I'm going to look at you and honor you. And I'm going to go, how cool. They're a master in their own world. And I get to learn from the master. You see what I'm saying? So it makes people feel stupid. People fear being lumped in with flat earthers by association, so they distance themselves aggressively. I don't. I'm not that type of person. When I was in high school, you would have all these groups of people break into their own little groups and stuff. The jocks would be over here, the basketball players over here, the gothic people over here, the nerdy people inside of the science classroom still, usually playing Dungeons and Dragons in my high school. Okay, the cheerleaders were over there. I walked around all the time from group to group on purpose as a living wrench thrown into their systems saying, hey, what's up? What are you guys up to? And they all get weirded out. What else? Why are people pissed off about the flat earth? Why does it hurt? Why is it an affront to them emotionally? Why do they get so angry? Why do they become so verbally abusive over this particular topic? Which, by the way, they have no right to, okay? Try that crap after the apocalypse. I dare you. I would love to see you try after the apocalypse. This world is protective. Okay, this system protects itself. So many people restrain themselves. But when the system is removed and everything returns to a chaotic state where do as thou wilt is the law of the land, and I'm not promoting anybody that says that quote, okay, but do as you wish to do. Do whatever you like to with your life. You better come with some serious respect. I'm letting you know right now. In the post-apocalyptic world, okay, which we don't live in yet. But I dare you. Like in the world to come, if you happen to survive the apocalypse itself, which is going to wipe out most of humanity, you better come. If you're anywhere near me, you better come with caution and the utmost respect. This is why people in the Wild West, I'm going to go off on a tangent real quick, okay? This is why people had more respect in the Wild West. This is why people were safer in a time whenever they had less constraints, less laws to make you safe, and less mottos. It's for your safety. When everyone walked around with guns in the Wild West in the saloon, you didn't have bad guys kicking in the doors saying, reach for this, guys, I'm robbing everybody, because they wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare do that during a time when everybody protected themselves. Okay? You wouldn't dare. You're free. Enjoy it right now. Enjoy it while it lasts. All you trolls out there, and I'm looking at all you troll channels specifically, all you people that have serious emotional internal problems, mental problems, you feel bad about yourself, maybe something happened to you when you were a child or something, maybe you were picked on, I don't know what the problem is, but many of you people clearly have serious mental issues that are evident aside from your worldviews. Okay, I don't care about your worldviews. I care about your emotions. I care about how you treat other human beings or animals or plants or whatever. That's what I'm looking at. Damn, I'm going off on a tangent right now. Hold on, where was I? Let's move on. It trivializes real conspiracies. So there's actual other conspiracy theorists out there, and they don't want to be associated with this one, which is totally okay. Okay? I've seen some of you people. You shouldn't do this, man. You jump over to like other conspiracy channels. You'll be in their comments. You'll be in their chat. You'll be like, you need to look into flat earth. You need to do this and that. Like, no, they don't. They bring their own area of expertise, and you need to be thankful and show them some honor and respect for doing so instead of trying to convert them to your religion, whatever that may look like. Or gossiping and talking trash about other truth seekers that have platforms and channels on social media and different things, and just telling other people, being a gossiper yourself, yeah, he's cool and everything, but he thinks space is real, but he believes in gravity, but he blah, blah, blah. So what? Focus on what they provide, not what they're lacking. Stop trying to tear them down to everybody else. You're not doing your own community a service. But I understand. So for some people, you know, they're not ready for this. They're not ready for various novel theories that are coming about these days. That's okay. Everything in its time. Allow these people to walk their path naturally. You be a light. You shine. You go blaze your trail, and people will follow you, I promise. You go around trying to make people follow you, you're just starting a cult. Another reason why people get so in their feelings about flat earth is it is seen as willful ignorance, that they're on purpose believing something that they know is not correct. The anger isn't that the people are wrong, it's that they seem proud of rejecting evidence. So this has become a catalyst for basically saying I'm against authority. I believe in flat earth because I hate authority. So boom, I just want to rebel. I'm going to be a flat earther. I don't know anything about it. I haven't looked into it. I might not actually believe in it. I'm just going to say I do to make a statement. Screw the government. Screw everybody. Screw people. I get that. That's their right. That's their freedom to do that. They want to wear the flat earth as a badge, walking around as saying I'm a rebel. Go ahead. That's fine with me. There's lots of people in different communities that do that, basically. But other people, it pisses them off. They say, you shouldn't do that. You're messing up what I represent. You're messing up my community and what I have built for myself. And that just exposes their fear. That just exposes weakness individually. Allow people to live. Allow people to believe, to perceive, to do whatever they want. That's the law of the land. Now, you infringe upon me personally, that's another subject, because now I'm allowed to do what I want. That's the law of the land. Next up, why are people so angry about the flat earth? It feels infectious. People worry it spreads to family members and communities that they have already lost somebody down the rabbit hole. They're scared it's going to grow. It's going to infect people. Well, why? I mean, why is something so ridiculous, so retarded, so dumb, gaining so much traction, so infectious that you're worried about it? I don't want what if my mom believes in this? What if my cousin? What if my brother? Well, they shouldn't if it's that ridiculous, if there's no substance to it. Reality is there is substance to it. Seems to me there's a lot of substance to it. That's why it has so many adherents, so many followers, so many people that are researching this particular concept or worldview. Social media amplifies it. The constant visibility of flat earth content online makes people feel like it's growing, which triggers alarm and contempt. It is growing, as well it should be, because like I said, this used to be the majority view, the majority worldview across time. Across all of the written records, most people on Earth saw the Earth like this or something similar. They did not. Most people, the majority is not, and this is from my own research, my path that I walk, okay? I have not seen evidence that most people across time believed in a spinning, wobbling, spaceship Earth or whatever. That would sound ridiculous to most people across time. Another reason why people get frustrated is because they feel it's an unwinnable debate. They can't win because no amount of evidence changes a flat earther's mind, which breeds deep frustration and eventual hostility. They want to change your mind. That's why I put a particular Bible verse, Romans chapter 12, verse 2, in the description of this video, because it says, be not conformed by this world, but by the renewing of your mind. To renew your mind means to change your mind. You must change your mind when it comes to certain things. Do not be conformed to this world. Now, in my mind, when they say this world, and this is not me telling you that that's what the biblical author meant, but in my mind, I can easily apply that to the ball earth theory, the glob theory, as I like to call it, because that's really that's what a globe is. Take off the E, it means a glob of something. It's a glob. Like if you scooped up a big ball of mud in your hand, it's a glob of mud. That's the earth in academics. So they don't feel like it's a winnable debate. Okay? They are trying to change your mind because they want more people on their team. It's a team mentality. They're not going to applaud you. They're not going to honor you as being an autodidactic or a Renaissance man or a polymath or a polymath. They're not going to applaud you and honor you or show you any kind of respect in general, certain people, that you are being a trailblazer, that you're being a philosopher, that you are looking into things for yourself, that you are considering things for yourself. They have been raised in a system that protects itself. Sort of to quote the Matrix again. The system protects itself. The system tells you what to think. The system says it's already been explored. We've already seen everything, just like in the Truman Show. We've already figured everything out. I raised my hand in chemistry in high school one time because the chemistry teacher that everyone was just agreeing to and looking up to and would not dare contradict or ask a question to imply that they may have been wrong about something. Everyone in class is doing this. And I heard that teacher say, regarding the periodic table of elements on the wall, class, these are all of the elements that exist in the universe. And I looked around at all the kids to see if anyone was going to say anything, because they just seemed like totally accepting of this. So I raised my hand, and the teacher kind of looked shocked, as if how dare you raise your hand when I just made a point. But he didn't know what I was going to say. I raised my hand and I said, I'm not sure if that's true. How can we honestly say that those are all the elements in the whole entire universe when we haven't been to the whole entire universe? And that whole bottom row, those are all brand new elements in the past 50 years. Those have all just been discovered. So who's to say we might, discover more? I hear collectively from the entire classroom. This might as well have been the world. People like me raising our hand, being little wrenches in the system, and the whole world is like, God, look at him being so disruptive. Why doesn't he just shut up? I can almost hear the anger bubbling up within my fellow students at the time. Anyways, it feels like mockery to some people. This particular concept feels like mockery. Some people genuinely believe flat earthers are trolling everybody, and they represent being played. There are those people out there who are trolling you that might not even believe the earth is flat, but they're trying to stir up your feelings. They're trying to piss you off. There's literally trolls in this world. I can't wait until this world changes and there are actual, literal, real trolls, monsters. Monstrous, gigantic humans that eat other human beings. I hope you meet one. I hope the actual trolls of this age that hide behind their screens in other countries, that are little keyboard warriors trying to just piss people off because they're sick. They're mentally unstable and sick and twisted people. I hope you meet a real, actual troll in the world to come. Because I'm pretty sure, there's trolls are real. I wish that for you. I hope you meet a real actual troll. Can't wait. I won't be saving you. I will be eating popcorn from a distance, watching you be eaten by a troll. It feels like mockery to some people. Are there trolls? Yes, there are. Are there people? That's in every avenue. That's in every area of research or study or belief systems or religions or whatever. There's trolls all over the place, okay? Don't let that taint the genuine people, okay? Be wise and accept the times you live in. Understand you live in a time when there's a whole culture that develops and protects their little trolls, raising them from birth to be trolls because they had troll-ass poor parents and grandparents and a whole family lineage extending God knows how far back. They're trolls. That's their place in this world. Okay? There's going to be trolls who are going to troll you with the flat earth. They don't know anything about it. They're going to tell you it's a disc and it's flying and all kinds of things. And some people will do it purposefully to get a rise out of you. Don't apply that to the whole community. You do yourself a disservice by throwing out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. Another reason why it pisses people off, it attracts grifters and entertainers. This is a new word for me, grifter. I hear that being tossed around. I hear a lot of new vocabulary words being tossed around on the internet, especially on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, the major ones. New words, okay? I see old words being changed, their meanings being changed. We live in interesting times. Grifters, these are people, if I understand correctly, who are just trying to like take advantage of other people, like influencing them in order to get their money. I believe that that's probably, close to the definition. And this is what many flat earthers will be called. I myself have been called a grifter a billion different times. Why? Because I sell books. I'm an author and I write books on this particular subject and many other subjects. And therefore, that's a grift. You're a grifter. And it's just a word that they toss around. Okay. It has no substance. It's basically like saying you're a bitch. Excuse my language. But, it's just like calling someone a bad word. Okay. There's no substance to it. I know I'm not grifting. I know I'm not like taking advantage of it. Like I'm an author. I'm providing. And there's an opposite end of that spectrum. The non-believers will say, you're a grifter. Then I'll have people on my side, the truth-seeking community, going, how dare you sell the truth? How could you sell the truth? How could you put the truth behind a paywall? And they're referring to like certain content that I have on my Patreon or my website or my books themselves. And they almost insist I just go back to work and become a slave once again and work a 9-to-5 job or longer all day long and still provide this content, still share information and still be a teacher and a mentor and whatever things people see me as. So it doesn't have any substance. It attracts grifters. Yes, it does. Okay. There are people who are going to just try to like turn this into a meme or a toy or whatever and sell it and just, yes, those people do exist. Entertainers, grifters. Yes, that is in all avenues of the world. There are pockets in all places that have those people. The spectacle around it feels exploitative, and people hate that vulnerable individuals get pulled in. Well, I hate that too. Okay. I don't want any vulnerable people to get pulled into a religion or a cult or anything else for that matter. Okay. When you're trying to like influence all of your little people, you got 100,000 followers or 1 million followers and you're trying to influence them collectively to go out and like do things, that benefit you. You're a cult. You're trying to change all of their minds so that they buy your products. You're a cult. If you offer things of value, in exchange for value, you're a self-providing person. You're providing for yourself. You're like a farmer, okay? Not a cult. There's a huge difference. Another reason, it's tied to religious undertones. So some people look at this and they go, the Bible, God, ew, all that stuff. For secular people, that means people that don't have religion, the biblical firmament angle feels threatening. For religious people, it feels like an embarrassment to their faith. So this is right in the middle of both sides. Some people are like, ew, religion. That's how religious people see the world. And now I have to think about like their whole religion story and the creation story. And then you have actual religious people whose religions actually point to this model in part, at least in part. You have to, you got to acknowledge that many religions definitely point to a flat earth concept. Okay. But then they're embarrassed by it. They're like, oh God, can't believe it. Can't believe we crawled out from under that rock and now they want to go take us back. What else? It produces genuine victims, people believe. People have lost their jobs, their families, their social lives all over the earth being flat. And people who see this find that tragic and infuriating. And I sympathize with that. I sympathize with that. That anybody would lose their job or family members or social lives over an idea. I will take you back to the Bible, though. This is a part of prophecy. This is an omen. This is something that is destined and bound to happen before the great shift that is coming, is that families will be divided. Friends will be separated. It says this in the Bible and probably other religions too, I'm guessing. But this is an omen of the signs of the times that you live in. There's going to be great divisions amongst the people, especially as the energy increases in this world, or the pressure increases in this world. And all these gases are being released and stuff during this time, which is amplifying the energy in the world. And people start swarming like locusts. Yes, people are going to develop this team mentality. They're going to band together with a mob mentality or a group think. And people are going to break out of their shells. So yes, people are going to lose their jobs. People have already lost their YouTube channels. People have already lost their income. They have been demonetized. People out there are scared to death to put this image on the screen or to put the words flat earth into their titles or descriptions or to even say it. Especially don't say it in the first 7 minutes of the video because it'll get demonetized. It'll get taken down, blah, 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 blah. Just like they're scared to say certain words like, I don't know, suicide or murder. It's unaliving and self-unaliving and weird, just strange things where you people are developing an Orwellian type of newspeak to avoid consequences or perceived consequences that you made up in your mind. Mental walls and magic tricks that are invisible and don't exist that have been put up to block you from being free. And you follow that. Another reason it upsets people, the flat earth, talking about this particular theory or worldview. It is a worldview. Let me remind you. Stop calling this a theory. This is a worldview. It's literally you're viewing the world in a particular way. This is a perception of the world. It's a worldview. Okay. Educators hate what it does to students. Teachers report having to undo flat earth beliefs in classrooms, which they find demoralizing. Now I have to undo his beliefs or whatever in the classroom. Well, that's how many of us feel when we are forced, or feel like we are forced. Maybe force is a strong word, but like you pretty much have to send your children through the school system unless you jump through a million hoops and do it just the right way in order to homeschool your children here in the United States. So that's how we feel as truthers, sending our kids off to be indoctrinated as a fish in a school to learn all of your bull crap, like Benjamin Franklin discovered lightning. Thomas Edison invented electricity or the light bulb. George Washington had wooden teeth and he chopped down a cherry tree. We have to undo all of your lies and garbage and meaningless trivia in order to teach our children how to start a fire 5 different ways, how to purify water, how to put seeds into the earth and grow food and have a limitless supply of food forever, how to be self-sufficient, how to be reasonable, how to be balanced, how to be healthy. We have to undo all of your indoctrination and your crap. So yes, I can sympathize with how frustrating that must be for you on the other side of the coin. Another reason that this pisses people off, it poisons. They believe it poisons adjacent legitimate questions. People interested in real alternative history or cosmology get tarried with the flat earth bush or brush. Get tarred with the flat earth brush. I'm reading my notes. So some people are like, they really want you to focus on this conspiracy theory or this novel theory or this new idea. And then people want to bring this up and they're like, no, man, that's not the topic. And I sympathize with that. I can understand that. It's not tactful to bring up a topic when that's not the topic of conversation. Everything in its time. Okay? If you go around insisting people eat dessert when everyone's eating dinner, you're wrong. You're out of place. I don't care how good your intentions are. Your blessing will be counted as a curse. Learn to be tactful. Learn to be reasonable. Learn your place in time. Learn when all things have a time, a right time and a wrong time. Learn the difference between the two. It's perceived as a cult dynamic. This right here is seen as like a representation of an actual cult. The community loyalty, the insider language, the rejection of outsiders, it triggers cult recognition instincts. It can become a cult, as can Christianity. And it has many cults, okay? As can and as is and as does academics has become a cult. All the things that you associate with being so cult-like with this, insider language, community loyalty, the rejection of outsiders, please apply that to your own belief system if you're one of the academics who is watching this right now. And I mean that. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm asking you, as a scientific free thinker, if that's what you believe you are, apply this same cult mentality to modern academics in general, not the scientific method, not science itself, but to modern and mainstream academics, the collegiate program, the school systems around the world, high schools, preschools, and everything beyond. It looks very culty. Although it's popular opinion, although it's very popular, it's still the cult of the world as seen by some, including myself. Three more, and then I'm going to take calls. I'm going to put the phone number up right now, actually. And I might even take a quick little commercial break so you guys can go use the bathroom and stuff and come back, because this is going to be a long one. Here's the phone number. Let me make sure it's not on. Okay, the phone lines are not on right now, but you feel free to write this number down. You can call into me live and direct. If you try to troll or, you're insulting, I'm just going to hang up on you and block your phone number. So I appreciate open minds calling and people who really have thoughts on the subject, right? Why are people so upset about it? Let me get back to my notes. It makes people feel gaslit. That's another one of those new therapy words. Okay. That's gaslighting. Everything is gaslighting to like everybody today. I can't count how many times I've heard the word gaslighting in the past 10 years. Okay. Let me tell you what gaslighting is, because many of you don't even know. You're just throwing that word around, right? It's when you try to change reality as somebody else sees it. So if you know something happens or happened and someone else tells you that never happened, that's gaslighting. When you're trying to convince somebody that something that is real is not real, or something that happened did not happen, that is gaslighting. You're trying to change reality as they perceive it in their minds. So some people makes them feel gaslit. Being told to question something as basic as the shape of the earth feels like an assault on a shared reality. Well, it does bring into question your shared reality. And most of you who share the reality of the globular model, you don't even know anything about the globular model. You just take it for granted. You are blissfully ignorant, and that's okay. I'm not slamming on you. You have the right to be blissfully ignorant. I can see the appeal. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to put you down, call you names. That's your right. Be blissfully ignorant. Take a breath. Be grounded for a moment. It's okay. It's fine with me. Okay? But some people feel like this is a challenge to their concept of reality. Then they have to start rethinking everything. Then that comes with this sort of shadowy fear that they don't want to acknowledge of, that means I've been lied to by people I have been told my whole life to look up to and to trust. There is that thought in the back of their minds, probably subconsciously. So they shy away from that. They don't even want anything to do with it, because they don't want to have to consider that the world that has been handed to them by the authorities that have been given to them and instituted over them might be wrong. They will have to figure it out for themselves. They'll feel helpless because they haven't been taught how to help themselves. So they literally will be helpless. They won't know how to put seeds into the ground or purify water. Geez, I just watched this show. What was that show called? Some kind of survival show where they drop these people off in a jungle. I normally don't even watch these like television or anything, but I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try to watch like a reality show just to see, because I've not done that in like over a decade. And I watched this survival type of one. And, there's all the typical drama and stuff, but they drop these people off on an island and I'm like bewildered at how people don't know what to do when they're in survival mode, when they're just like, it's like they chill, they hang out, they don't take it seriously for the first few days. And then they start worrying, oh my God, we need water. I don't think I should drink the water from the river or the stream. I don't know. What do we do? We need fire. I see people just rubbing sticks together as fast as they can to try to make fire. And it's really eye-opening for me personally. It's like, wow. Anyways, that's besides the point. Let's move on. So this pisses people off because it seems immune to good faith. People hate engaging with it because the goalposts constantly move. I like that the goalposts are constantly moving, to quote the term. Okay. The reason the goalposts are constantly moving is because people are trying to find their roots again. They're trying to figure this out. They know that there's something to this, right? That's why the whole flat earth map like really throws a lot of people off. There is no flat earth map. All your maps are wrong. Every one of them. Every single map that has ever been made is wrong. It is not 100% accurate. Some are way off base. Okay. So yes, the goalposts in that respect should be moving as people are constantly learning more about the thing that they're interested in. I expect the goalposts to move. I don't think they should even have goalposts, honestly. Instead of, see, that's more of the sports mentality that I was talking about. Okay. You shouldn't have goalposts. You shouldn't plant your flag and be like, okay, I'm now on planet flat earth. I declare this planet flat earth in the name of flat earth and all things flat earth. And now you're stuck there. Now you can't, now you have to move the goalpost, which is your flag, whenever you learn something new, some new revelation, right? And then you have that worry and fear of looking dumb, like that you just came from planet flat earth and now you believe in planet fractalverse or planet whatever. You know what I mean? As your views are constantly growing. That's the way it should be. You should be constantly growing. Stop trying to declare your moment of personal growth as the absolute end-all be-all truth to everybody. That everyone should be on your path, walking your path. That you are basically God. You are Jesus. And I mean, this comes with these types of mentalities. I've seen people come and go who literally thought they were the devil incarnate because they had access to certain information that's different. Or that they thought they were Jesus incarnate. Or that they thought they were God incarnate or whatever. It breeds contempt for the believers themselves, not just for the theory, but the people, which makes many feel guilty and then angrier. It breeds contempt. I don't really understand that one. For the people themselves. Oh, so it makes people hate flat earthers, not because of the theory, but for the people. Yeah. So the people are looked at. People are scared to look into this because they literally don't want to be condemned. This is why people had public hangings or public torture during the Enlightenment, during the times immediately after the Dark Ages. People were being tortured publicly because they wanted all you people who might even consider to be your own personal William Wallaces of the mind. They want you to watch as everyone else is ridiculed and condemned and threatened and insulted and mocked. And they want to spread that fear into your hearts. I don't want to be mocked. I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be up there on the chopping block. Forget that. I don't want to be in the hot seat. That's your choice. Be lukewarm. Be mild. The world needs mild people, or else it wouldn't have them. That's fine. I'm not like you. I'm not mild. I can't do that. I'm spicy. I'm hot. I can't wait. I'm full of flavor, baby. I've got salt to toss. I've got excess of salt to flavor this bland and boring and corrupt world. That's me. Anyways, it represents a breakdown of shared epistemology. What's epistemology, you might ask? Epistemology is the study of the truth itself, of reality itself. What is reality? Is there, what do they like to use? Empirical truth? Is it just the truth from the empire that says that's the truth because it's the truth? Don't go any deeper. It's a dead end. Your truth is a dead end. Let me tell you my reality. It's constantly fluctuating. It's fluid. It's moving. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be life. All life is constantly changing and moving and moving about. And there's different angles to see things at, different perspectives to take into consideration. But people are worried that this concept is going to destroy their established reality or their epistemology, their study of reality, and the limitations of reality or truth. Does truth have limitations? The deeper fear is that if people can't agree on a basic reality, civilization itself is in trouble. Good. Great. I can't wait. I know it's in trouble. I want it to be in more trouble, personally. Like George Carlin once said, I'm an entropy fan. I support it. I can't wait. I would be like Gamork in the Neverending Story, and I would help the nothing to come and the end of the world to happen so that we can start over, wipe the slate clean. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to be balanced, okay? I'm also like Atreyu. I'm both of those characters into one. I am Anakin Skywalker, and I am Darth Vader in the same body. I am balanced. I like to be, okay? Anyways, damn, how many more are there? Oh, my bad. There's 3 more. It's exhausting. So this can be mentally exhausting. Some of you are already done with this presentation. Some people can only hold so much mentally to consider, to think about. And they have to like come back. This is the same thing as eating. You can't feed people too much. Stop trying to feed them too much. Feed them a little bit. Recognize when they're satisfied, not full. You should never eat until you're full. That applies to physically eating, and that applies to studying or feeding other people your studies. Okay? Learn when to stop. Learn when to take a break. I'm not going to stop right now because you have the freedom to stop yourself. Don't overeat. Okay? If you're good right now in this place in the video, I don't care about money. I don't care about views. I don't care about watch time and all that stuff. Stop watching right now. Go take a break. Put a little clip in it. Come back to this later when you've processed some of this, and then you can continue on. That's okay with me. But it can feel exhausting to some people. It feels like a waste of human potential to many people watching intelligent, curious people pour energy into the flat earth instead of real discovery. This genuinely grieves some people. This is because they want you to be like them. They want you to do what they're doing, to believe in what they believe in. They want you to look into the things that they think are interesting. That's not encouraging you to grow at all. It's encouraging you to be just like them, little cookie cutter, carbon copy stamps of one another, clones. Last but not least, then we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to take calls. If you guys would like to call in, please keep your calls short, is my respectful request. Please keep them short so we can take many calls. If you guys talk for a very long time, we will take less calls. Make sense? Okay. Please be direct, get right to the point, keep it short, and I can always let you go, and then I can, expound upon what we've discussed or whatever and take another call. It hits close to home. For many, the hatred is really grief. Someone they love went down that path, and the theory became the enemy because they don't believe in it, so it became a separator, a division. I get that, but there's a way to patch that up. There's a remedy to that. If you feel like this put a space between you and someone that you love or care about, then you need to fill in that gap with the things that you have in common. You understand? Stop focusing on the things you don't have in common. Stop trying to force that upon other people. Okay? Think of it like eating a meal together. If you sit down and you like potatoes, they like potatoes. You like steak, they like steak. But someone puts in asparagus. And you're like, God, I hate asparagus. God, like replace the asparagus with something else that you guys both like. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a war. It doesn't have to be a battle. It doesn't have to be this goal of converting somebody and changing them to conform to you, which is really what that boils down to. All right. I'm going to run a quick little ad from my books, Ancient Oblivion series, and grab myself. Well, I've got some carbonated water here. Maybe take a bathroom break or something, 2 minutes, and I'll be back to take you guys' calls, okay? All right, see you in a bit.
In a time when an ancient cataclysm is about to return, one book holds the key to unlocking the biggest secret in all of history. JayDreamerZ presents Ancient Oblivion, the Plasma Apocalypse. Study it, and you'll discover the very real details behind the reoccurring event that resets civilizations and reshapes the entire world. Bridging the gap between fiction and fact, this book is a must-have for all truth seekers. Then in his second book, you'll learn about the one place of refuge from this world storm. You'll explore the ends of the earth, find the fountain of youth, and envision yourself enveloped in the vapor canopy. In Ancient Oblivion, Return to Hyperborea, available now. Order direct from JayDreamerZ and receive your very own autographed copy. Go to JayDreamerZ.com for more information on our Ancient Oblivion and the Plasma Apocalypse, and sign up for a free 24-hour cram session with a complimentary day pass. The end is near, so order now before it's too late.
Okay, we are back for part 2, taking calls. So I would like to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, okay? If you stick to the subject, it'll probably be a little more entertaining and interesting, for me at least. There's lots of stuff we could talk about. So let's try to stick to the subject, okay? If we veer off of the subject, then I'm probably going to wrap things up. So take a couple minutes, call in, feel free to say hello, feel free to give me a little verbal high five and stuff if you'd like to. But I would like to hear your thoughts on the topic, which is why this concept infuriates so many people. Why do they hate the flat earth? Why is the flat earth important to you personally? I would love to hear that. I don't want to just focus on the negative. We've discussed many of the reasons why they don't like it. Why is this important? Why do you feel this is an important thing above and beyond so many other conspiracy theories? And there's good ones to talk about. This is hotter than the moon landing being faked, which I totally think it was, or JFK being assassinated or unalived or whatever. I don't know how people. It's funny how people talk. Anyways, I want to thank everybody. Hold on, I want to give a special thanks to some people who recently donated to my PayPal. There's a link in my channel description with the PayPal. Sometimes people find that and they'll send me some money to say thank you. So I would like to say thank you to a couple of people real quick before I open up the phone lines. I would like to say, and this is just a couple of people off the top, okay? Because I don't often do this. I just say my own silent thank you at home, but I want to get in the habit of saying thank you publicly to some people. And some people don't like their names being mentioned, so I'll just use first name, last initial. Jennifer W., thank you very much for your kind words and your constant support. Patricia D., thank you very much for your constant support. And let's see, who else? Jennifer W. a few times, actually. Thank you very much. Allison W. Oh, yeah, I spoke with Allison. That's right. And I'm going to probably be meeting her on my trip, too. A few of you guys have bought tickets to my meetups and to my events where I'm going to the Grand Canyon and the center of the world, California. Rebecca G., thank you so much for your support. Stephen F., thank you. And let's see, Deborah A., thank you very much. Deborah A., appreciate you. Morgan J., thank you very much. It's very nice to meet you as well. Crystal B., thank you. There's a whole bunch of other people. Steve W. Steve, Sarah, I'm probably going to take down my PO box because I kind of need to save some money right now. But I want to thank everybody who has sent me. I have mounds and mounds and mounds of fan mail that I've received over the past couple of years. People send me stuff. One guy sent me some delicious, like, I don't know what it's syrup. He sent me some syrup, some really good syrup. People send me all kinds of different things, and your letters are wonderful. So thank you. I just really, really want to say thank you, just real quick, okay? I appreciate it. Oh shoot, I don't know why my phone just started playing. Anyways, thank you to everybody for your support. Thank you to Ghetto earlier for your super chat. Ghetto's constantly has positive things to say, man. I don't think I don't read all the comments. I might miss some sometimes because there's a lot of comments, but I recognize the people who are beautiful souls out there. Thank you. All right, cool. Let's take some calls. I'm ready. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm always nervous when this happens. I'm going to turn on the phone lines. Please speak into your phone nice and clearly. And try to project your voice a little so everybody can hear you. All right. I'm going to turn the phone lines on. The phone lines are on. I have no idea who's about to call in, but I would like to know your thoughts on alternative cosmology and the flat Earth. So I will wait. I know there's probably a couple people. Some people might be nervous too. Oh, got a phone call already. Let's see who it is.
Call from
Matthew Newberry.
Matthew, all right.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
All right, I accept. Hey, Matthew, this is JayDreamerZ.
Hey, JayDreamer. I just wanted to tell you thank you for your show today. It was really hit a chord with me. My wife and I both have fallen upon the information of flat Earth probably about maybe 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
And it has fundamentally changed our view of just how close we are to God, and just it's made things so much more fun, like exciting and interesting. And I just wanted to share my story. Before I learned about flat Earth, I was the biggest Star Wars fan, the biggest space fan. Anything that had to do with that, I was all about it. And I had fallen into a real strong depression. And in fact, I laid in bed for, I think it was 4 days straight. And I was just at my lowest I'd ever been. And I've grown up Christian, and I still have full faith in Jesus Christ. I love my Lord and Savior. But at that time, I felt so distant from God, and I felt so far away. And I remember I was dreaming about drifting off in space, and kind of it was just a dystopian kind of idea about drifting into space, just like lost. And the next thing I know, I started kind of gently learning about flat Earth, and it changed how I viewed everything. It changed how I didn't feel so distant from God anymore. I shared it with my wife, and at the time she thought I was nuts, but she actually loved me enough to take her time and try to read the Bible and scripture search and watch some of the things with me. And so we've been flat earthers ever since. And I just wanted to tell you thank you. And what you're doing is awesome. And I'm a subscriber and totally excited about watching more of your episodes. And anyway, thank you so much for what you're doing, man.
Yeah, that's great to hear. How are you feeling better now? Are you starting to feel better?
I'm sorry?
Are you starting to feel better than, coming out of that depression and stuff?
That was about, like I said, about 9 years ago.
Okay.
And praise God, I've been healed from depression. I'm no longer on antidepressants.
Good.
No longer in that state of mind. I'm just, I've got my good days and bad days, but God has healed me from that. And so, and I've got a big story to tell about that too. But yeah, I'm so things have definitely changed for the better. It was just kind of, everybody's got seasons in their lives that are.
That's true.
Kind of take them up or down.
That's good though. I'm very happy for you. Thank you for sharing the good news. Because it's so exciting because I've been depressed too. I've been down, ups and downs in life. It's just terrible. But when we can be pulled back into the excitement and the vitality of being alive again and being excited and having purpose and seeing the good in things, then it really counters the mud of darkness that can surround us. Sometimes we feel like we're drowning in. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Oh, thank you. Well, nice to meet you too. And keep up the great work.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, well, that was very lovely. I love hearing from you guys. I have turned the phone lines on. I know some people try to call in while I'm on the phone. If you get the voicemail or anything, feel free to leave a voicemail. I'm probably not going to listen to it, just so you know. I have like 400 voicemails. And people text this number too, trying to see if I will write back or whatever. I don't. This is just a burner phone number for this call-in segment. You guys can feel free to call in. Thank you so much. Oh, hey, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Cherokee in the chat. Appreciate you. We're taking calls right now. By we, I mean me and you guys watching, basically. All right, I got another caller coming in. Let's see who it is.
Call from.
Ghetto.
To accept.
I didn't catch the
press
name.
1.
Aloha, this is JayDreamerZ. Who's this?
Hey, this is Ghetto. What's up, bro?
Oh, Ghetto. Ghetto, what's up, dude? Hey, it's nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm nervous, man. I never got a chance to call in. I just feel compelled to tell you my little flat earth story and try to keep it short as much as I can, man.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's nice to meet you officially. Let me hear your flat earth story.
Well, just the long and short of it is my little sister passed away when she was 16 and she was pregnant in a house fire. So I was like an atheist and I was like, there's no God, there's no way this can be real, you know what I mean? I was 19 at the time, so everyone knows me as an atheist, you know what I mean, for like 20 years. And then in like 2014, I was big into Joe Rogan and outer space and all that stuff. And Eddie Bravo came on talking about check on Eric Dubé, check it out. He's talking about the flat earth. And I'm like, no way, this is the dumbest shit, stuff ever. So
oh, snap.
I watched it, and I'm like, oh, this is bull crap. I did not want to believe it. It took me like 6 months of like still just watching Joe Rogan and not believing it. And then Matt Powerland came out and all this other stuff, and I'm like, for some reason, he resonated with me more, maybe because of the comedy, but he showed me the flat earth map or like the UN map.
Right.
And I'm like, so that got me. And then Martin Kenny and the other dude, the Hermes Trismegistus dude with his shirt off, he came out talking about the North Pole, and I'm like, there's no way there's land at the North Pole. You know what I mean? And that,
right.
That's what got me really, really studying it. And I'm like, because I never grew up with the Bible, and I'm like, if there's a North Pole, maybe there's a dome. You know what I mean? And I just,
yeah.
And so for the last 10 plus years, I've just been like so hard drawn in the paint with all this stuff. Like, and everyone around me didn't believe me. You know what I mean? And it's like, it really just depressing. But I really found God. I'm not an atheist, I'll tell you that. So that's a major thing that, I don't know about everybody else, but it really changed my life in that fact. But I don't want to take all your time, Jay, man. You are incredible. And when you showed me the Apex Dome and, man, C-3PO showed the Blue Beam and all these different movies and all this stuff, and like this last 6 months has been, wow, like all the dots are connected, man. I just want to tell you that you're amazing. And just keep going, man. I'll keep supporting you every day I can.
All right. Right on, Ghetto.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, bud.
Ooh, buddy. Man, hey, thanks for calling in, Ghetto. I appreciate you. I love it when you guys mention these trailblazers that have, that I've met on my path. So he mentioned Flat Earth Paradise. That was a whole, where he came from was a whole thing. Math Powerland. See, there's some people like these are just all names of people that stood up to be iconic during rough times, during hard times. Martin Kenny, like there's a million different names. I'm one of many different people. And it's an honor, to have stepped into the ring, like played my part. And I love to hear all these other people too. I like to give them some honor. You know, they've really etched in a part of my own personal history, you know, or history itself for me as I see it. They might be unknowns over time. I don't know. I don't know how big of a dent we all make, but man, I appreciate some of those people that he mentioned. All right, let me take another phone call. I've got I turn off the phone number when I'm speaking to someone. When I'm done and I acknowledge the phone call afterwards, I turn it right back on. So it's on now. Oh, thank you, Jennifer W. I just saw your support through PayPal. Thank you very much, and for your kind words. I'm glad that you're enjoying the show. I'm glad that you're enjoying the presentation today. I just speak from the heart. You know, I try to genuinely be myself, share my own thoughts and feelings, my perspective, which is unique in the world, with you guys. Novel ideas, innovation, innovative perspectives and stuff. I enjoy watching other people think. I enjoy watching the wheels move in your brains and in your minds. I get so excited when I see that. All right, we got another caller. Let's see who it is.
Call from
Jesse.
Jesse.
to accept, press.
Aloha. What's up, Jesse? This is JayDreamerZ.
Aloha, JayDreamerZ. How's it going, bro?
Not too bad. I mean, you're coming in so clear. You have the clearest call of anyone so far.
That's amazing because there's a quinceañera going on outside my house at the pool over here. So I was like totally worried you're going to hear in their good times over here. So they're part
Nice.
of the Good Vibe tribe today too.
Oh, sweet. Nice. That
But hey,
sounds like
man,
fun.
I just want to start out by saying just thank you so much for everything you do, bro. Like seriously, I know I can't even possibly imagine how much hard work and dedication it is to put all this information out and lead your life the way that you do. And as a viewer, we see it come through, bro. Just wanted to say that we see it, we appreciate you. And, you know, members of this community, when we find people like you, I think your words really ring true, right? It's a lot about discernment when it comes to flat earth and truthers and things like that. You know, for me, my journey has kind of led me piece by piece, one thing to the next thing. And just some of the things that you've talked about, bro, it's exactly like what Ghetto just said, that all these dots have started to connect. Things that I questioned as a little kid that I didn't know how to ask, or that I thought was my imagination or whatever, now all of a sudden is coming up with the information that you provide. And there's just certain aspects of life that start to make sense. And that's the depth of this quote unquote flat earth, right?
Yeah.
Is it's not just one theory, it's everything. It's our world, it's our life. And being lied to is, I think there's a natural defense mechanism in people when they find out that they've been lied to for such a long time. They don't want to believe that, right?
Right.
And it happens on a small scale and it happens on a large scale. So I think that sometimes just putting those little breadcrumbs out there, somebody might not be ready to hear the full truth right away, but you know, they put that breadcrumb in their pocket and they save it for later, and then eventually it comes back out and they start picking at it and find out that there's another question to ask and another one, and it just leads them down, not a rabbit hole, but like a path, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's been exciting watching things unfold worldwide the way that they have, and it's been great getting to see people wake up. And although I'm not seeing all the people in my reality wake up the way I wish they would, it's amazing getting to connect with other people who are starting to see things a little differently.
Yeah, that can be a satisfying feeling, and we need that sometimes. I need you guys as much as you might tune in and need to hear one of my shows or something. Like I need to do this every once in a while so I can hear your voices, so I can meet people and know that, you know, there's people of substance still out there and real people. So it makes me feel good. But yeah, the lying thing and waking up to it and all that stuff is, I like to think, at first, I think I felt it similarly to people that was like, they just realize, oh my God, I've been lied to. And it's tempting to just really focus on the lying part and the deception and that may be involved in certain respects. But then it's helped me out personally whenever I've considered maybe some people aren't lying per se, but this is just their genuine belief. Just like they might look at the flat earth and stuff and say, oh, they're lying. But many people, this is their genuine belief. They don't believe they're lying. They think this is reality for them. You know, just like many people who are on the NASA bandwagon or mainstream academics or whatever, you know, they genuinely believe in the things that they believe in, which might be contrary to the things that I believe in. So it might not be in some cases that we're being lied to. In some cases it is. But in other cases, it might be that we have lied to ourselves. We have done ourselves a disservice by forgetting and being complacent over time, collectively. And that the good news is now we get to recognize our faults as individuals and grow collectively from here.
Oh man, that's truer words couldn't be spoken, and that's exactly how I've felt, especially recently. You know, I've been on my path of figuring things out, and just myself, and you know, having these opportunities now come up, it really puts yourself in front of your face, and you know, depression and things like that, of course, were a part of my life. But now that I get to see things, you know, for what they are, and I'm not letting myself lie to myself anymore, it's enjoyable getting to hash these things out, figure them out, close tabs, put stuff behind me, and look forward to what's next, bro. And what you've done for the community, even though, you know, your topic is the apocalypse, is you've given people a lot of hope and a lot of purpose and reason to look forward, because our reality doesn't give us a whole lot of reason to look forward sometimes. You know, it's not Star Trek. It's not all these things that we were hoping it was going to be growing up. I'm similar in age to you. I was born in 85. And, you know, we were promised a lot of things that never fruited. So I think what's happening now is, you know, that quality of waking up is, when you first wake up, you're not sure if it's a dream or reality. Maybe you don't want to get out of bed, but slowly but surely you realize it's time to get out of bed and you got to get going. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well said. Well, thanks for calling in. I hope you have a return to the quinceañera and have a blast and enjoy the rest of the time there.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you so much, man. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.
Ooh, man, you guys are making me tear up a little bit. I was like, don't cry. You guys, man, you guys are, thank you. Just thank you. All right, let me open up the phone lines again. Okay. And I want to give a shout out to Beverly P. Thank you very much during the live stream with the PayPal donation, and Jennifer W. Again, with your lovely messages. Thank you both very much. And all of you, actually, not just people that, you know, send me money as donations or whatever. That helps out a bunch, but people, all of you watching, all of you guys participating right now live in my chat, which is an amazing chat, a great frequency, a good vibration. I even opened up the chat to the public today. I don't normally do that. I'm like, nah, I think I'm going to let everybody in on this particular topic today. But I have turned the phone lines back on if you guys would like to call in to discuss the, you know, what the flat earth theory means to you. And, you know, why it might be important. And even if you don't believe in it, you don't have to be a flat earther and call in. If you don't think that the earth is flat and, you know, you want to talk about the topic reasonably, tactfully, feel free to call in. You know, don't call in to debate me or anything like that, because that's not going to happen. But everybody's free to call in. All right, let me answer the phone.
Call from
Claire.
Chloe or Claire? I can't
to
remember.
accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Aloha, this is JayDreamerZ. Did you say Claire?
That's right, JayDreamerZ. Who's Claire? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Claire? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you too. I just learned about you from JT Follows JC. You did a great show with him.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
You brought me into your camp, and I'm brand new to flat Earth, and I just wanted to share the love.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, it's nice to meet you. You're always welcome. Welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe. Where are you coming from? Like, what's your background?
I'm a social worker at a hospital, and I just cared for my mother who died in hospice 4 weeks ago in my home. And I just learned about you in the last 6 or 8 weeks when she was dying. So I'm a medical social worker. I'm also an artist, a musician, but I've been a caregiver a lot. And, you know, Flat Earth, really, I really vibe to that, because I've always been on the outside. I've always been close to God, and you know, there's not many of us, are there? So
Yes.
I love what you're doing. Your heartfelt message is very inspiring to me. I really struggle with low self-esteem because I've been really badly gaslit. I love that you talked about that word in my life.
Yeah.
I have younger siblings who hated me for caring for my mother when she was dying, and they called ATS on me, and then when she died, they called the cops on me. So it's kind of like, I can't win, and these are tenured professor people
Right.
who make fun of the flat earthers.
It's a tangled web we weave, this life.
Yeah.
But it is very nice whenever we come together and we can meet one another. I like that you came over from JT's channel. I always really appreciate knowing where, like, how do people find out about my channel? You know,
that is how it flowed. It went from Jimmy Dore to Kurt Metzger to Demon Erasers to JT Follows JC.
Oh, cool. What was the episode that you saw me on his channel? I've been over there a couple times, I think. Was it the DC one?
The little season. You guys are talking, of course, he's the little season guy, but I think you're talking about old history. You're talking about like some of the megaliths, but also the little season. And the little season, I'll tell you, like, that's also like new. The reason I'm just calling you on your channel, I know, like, your chat, that chat is so cool. People are very cool. And I've just learned about the community. And I guess I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you. And
well, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you called in.
Ghetto. Yeah, no, it's a very good message. But the little season, you know, just quickly, like when Epstein stuff dropped, I was like, oh, and then I heard about little season from, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course. And I'm like, Flat Earth, duh. So it's just kind of like at 59, I kind of woke up. And as to the anger people feel, I wouldn't say, I don't know. I mean, it does take a lot to confront the deception, because I would say, yeah, I've been deceived. I mean, I look like a Hillary Clinton voter. I was deceived my whole life to follow that way of living, the Gloria Steinem kind of, you can do it all. And, you know, it's a lie. It's all a lie. So Flat Earth. Yeah.
Well, there's anger on both sides, but especially even the little season. I've noticed over the past couple of years a lot of pushback, a lot of anger that's coming from people in the religious communities about this topic.
Yeah, it's little hats, and it's also just if you have dedication to really take the message of our Savior out of the Old Testament, you know, and it's the way that's been scrubbed out.
You know who my favorite two little seasoners are?
Who?
Probably Jason Jack and Madeline from Chasing Babylon. I think those are probably my top two. Like, I feel like they've really contributed a lot of good information to expand my mind on the topic.
I will follow that trail. Thank you for helping me out.
Yeah.
As I'll be.
Leaving Babylon, she's one of my favorite series that she's talked about is the Land of Jesus. Like this concept of a land on ancient maps that's literally called the Land of Jesus, which is very interesting. And then Jason Jack, I invited him to be on my channel, and you're still invited, bro, if you would like to be on my show. I'd love to have you. I don't know if you guys have seen him, but he kind of, and I mean this as a sort of a compliment, I guess, but when I see his face, it reminds me of, what was that? There's a movie, The Hangover. You know The Hangover? Have you ever seen that?
You know,
it reminds me of the dude that is missing a tooth.
I know of it. Yep.
Anyways, he's a very wholesome guy. He doesn't have neither one of these people, you know, strike me as any type of person that has an agenda. They're very wholesome YouTubers, just kind of jumping in front of the camera, just you know, being direct, no scripts, no anything. And I like that too about JT. JT, he started off very, very, we all start off in the same place where we just get in front of a camera and start talking. But I vibe with him also because he brings the entertainment along with the information. He keeps us in there, with the transitions, and his video editing is just, it's amazing. Anyways.
No, it really is. No, he brings a lot. You're very right about that. His commentary on the films and the movies of our time. I appreciate it.
I told him I want to do a show with him where we talk about, we sort of decode the Lord of the Rings together because he talks about it so much.
That's what you were talking about. Yes. Well, I just want to chime in. The Peter Jackson films, I know he loves them, but Peter Jackson he enhanced the roles of some of the women characters that were not in the books.
Ah, okay. Yeah, the books are always better. Books are always better.
I know, but that was not. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. It seems like the artistic license sometimes. I'm just a little troubled, but it's okay.
Well, thank you so much for calling in today, and welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe.
Yes, and thanks also to Jesse and Ghetto and your first caller. I really appreciated hearing from people in your community. Thank you for what you do, and thank you, everyone. Bye.
Indeed. Bye-bye. Well, this has been a very pleasant show today, I must say. I'm going to do one more. Let's do one more call. Okay. Mostly because I need some energy. So I feel satisfied with today's show. I'm going to turn on the phone lines, and whoever the next one is, you'll be the last caller for today's episode. So feel free to chime in. Today we're talking about the concept of the flat earth, why it's rattling so many people. Why is it being suppressed? If it's just some ridiculous thing, you know what I mean? Like, why don't they suppress the flying spaghetti monster or anything? Because this is an affront to mainstream academics. Not encouraging open-mindedness. It's an affront to academia itself. Now, somebody just tried to call in, but I think I lost you. I think they accidentally hung up. Feel free to give a call back. The phone lines are still open. Who is this? We got Organic Creations in the chat. I think Jay and John Levi should have a chit chat online for us all. John Levi, man. He's a character. We're all characters. He's such a character. I love him. Love that dude. Yeah, you know who I would love to talk to? Eddie Bravo. Hey, Eddie Bravo, I know you're watching, bro. I know you are. I feel the vibe. I feel that you have been drawn to my channel sometimes, and I know you watch. So, I would love to be a guest on your channel if you would like to discuss the plasma apocalypse, and you're welcome to be a guest on mine because you're a character too, bro. And I love having characters on. We need more character. All right, let me answer this phone call.
From
Ether Pliskin.
Ether Pliskin.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
Accept.
press
Ether Pliskin. Aloha. This is JayDreamerZ.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Hey, it's good to put a voice to the name.
Yeah. It's good to talk to you, man. It's good show.
Yeah, what do you think about all this all the stuff we've been talking about today? The flat earth topic.
Well, flat earth, man. It's very important in my life. I mean, I kind of gave up on conspiracies a long while back, and then I used to drive from Grand Junction to Denver and go work up in Fort Collins area, and I just listen to music. But I listened to a podcast one evening driving up there, and it was like Ghetto said, Sam Tripoli and or not Sam, yeah, it was Sam Tripoli and Eddie Bravo, and I was like, what? And just the day before that, because I was talking smack about flat earthers. And I was like, that's stupid. There's no way. And I was all into aliens and everything. And then by the time I got to Fort Collins, I listened to that whole, I was just like, what? So I had to start researching. I was kept on researching, and I kept on, and I was trying to prove that the Earth was a ball. And it just, I couldn't prove it.
Did you feel like a personal challenge?
No, man, I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. But then when I tried to prove it and I couldn't, then I was just I was in a state of my mind was just like, I was just like dumbfounded for like a month or two, just walking around like in a haze.
Yeah.
And then like I was all into aliens and everything, and like I didn't really have anything, like I didn't really believe in God or anything. I thought like the Anunnaki came down and, you know, the whole Zechariah Stitchin thing, and then I started to see how everything is, and it's intelligent design, and that this is a bigger, you know, something bigger than what they've had us to believe. And so I started, like, I believe in a creator now. I mean, not necessarily what, you know, the religious, but I think all gods are, of every religion is derived from the same creator. And yeah, it was a big part in my whole, changing my whole, everything in my life.
That's something I've heard a couple of callers say, or, you know, it's kind of referred to now as it's helping people to see things differently, but not just the world that we live in, but there being more to the world that we live in. So, for example, the question of God and there being a creator and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of their main points, because, I mean, a lot of this derives from the Vatican and, you know, like Galileo and was it Copernicus and all them, weren't they all, or maybe something else, I'm getting it all mixed up. But it is, I think, that they try to keep people from finding that God is within you, because as within, so without, you know what I'm saying? Like, we live inside God, God is inside of us, so we're all part of the same system, you know, the same energy. And I feel that we're not made in the image like a physical, like everybody takes it made in the image, like in the physical form.
Right.
I think we're made in the image in the spiritual form, in the ether body, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, I vibe with that too. Being made in the image, and being more spiritually minded as opposed to looking at the physical, that says a lot about where people are on their paths to me personally, because I used to look more at the physical. I would be like, we're made in the image of God, and I'm just thinking a human image or whatever. But then I started thinking more spiritually, you know, and raising my perspective and thinking energetically and spiritually and in terms of positive and negative and good and bad and stuff. And that really helped me to see my concept of God in another way, and therefore how I see myself as more than just made of, you know, my skin or my body or how I sound or the image that I portray when people encounter me or whatever. You know, it makes me really think a bit deeper. And in thinking a bit deeper, I've come up with like this profound appreciation for life and my place in it.
Exactly. It brought so much, like, all my life I was like, I didn't really click with like the things they taught us in school. A lot of the whole, you know, system and everything, like all the stuff like was too confusing and didn't make sense. And I was never like with it, but I still believed it because that's what we were taught. And then by the time I was always searching for the truth, like later on in life, and like the news couldn't ever like fulfill what I was trying to find in my heart.
Yeah.
And then finally, when I found this, it opened up like the window to all these new avenues of different truths, like the Tartaria, the cyclical apocalypse, then the plasma apocalypse came with that, you know, with the Tartarian thing, and it opened up hidden history, and the lost, you know, the giants and everything, man. It all comes together, and then you're like, wow. Just recently, man, I've known of you for years, but I've never really sat down and listened to your stuff. And just recently, the past, I don't know, like the beginning of this year, I think I started listening to you, man. I just clicked, dude, and everything you say is just, I can feel it in my heart, you know what I'm saying?
Good. Thank you for sharing that. It makes me feel good to know that that's, you know, I can have a positive effect on some people and walk the path together for a time. Well, I appreciate your call. Thank you so much. And it's nice to finally meet you. I've seen you in the comments in the chat a few times.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you too, bud. You keep up the good work, dude. You're doing great, man.
I will. All right.
All right.
Take care. Bye. All right. I said I was going to not take any more calls. I'm going to take 2 more calls because I seen a couple people try to call in while I was on the phone, and I'm having a good time. And I don't have any pressing, things to do. So I'm going to turn the phone lines back on. I'm going to take 2 more calls, 2 more callers. A lot of people, I used to do a whole call-in show. And people have been demanding I bring that back. I don't know. Maybe I just like to do it every once in a while. Maybe it's nice. It's nice to just hear your voices sometimes. Let me jump into the chat, see what you guys are saying over here in the chat. I do want to say thank you to Pretty Charmalie so much, who says, something that helps me explain it is the world is mostly water. Water always seeks its own level, and that means that we live on a flat world. That makes sense. I hear where you're coming from. Healthy Win-Win is in the chat. You make us feel good about this truth. Good. I want to help you to help yourself to feel good, really. If I could do anything. All right, let me take this next caller.
Call from
Jack.
Jack. Aloha, this is JayDreamerZ. Is this Jack? Is that how you say that?
It is, man. It's Jack. What's going on, bro?
Jack, nice to meet you. How's it going?
Dude, I'm great. I'm glad to get to talk to you for the first time, finally. Great show, man. Loving it. It's just great what you're doing out there, man. I love it. So.
Thanks, Jack. What are some of your favorite topics that have been on your mind? You don't have to talk about the flat Earth one if you don't want to, but what are you interested in?
Definitely. I was going to bring up, dude, Satan's little season just puts it all together for me. It just explains everything, man. The Statue of Liberty, Lucifer, Partaria, Mandela effects. It all makes so much sense when you think about, Satan's obviously in control, and, and that's why this flat Earth globe Earth, that's why they got away with it. That's why NASA gets away with it, It's just incredible, but it's great to listen and talk to you, man.
So many things, so many interesting connections. And that's the big thing for me, is that we can have all these different novel theories, from Cabbage Patch Babies to insane asylums to the old world to the plasma apocalypse to flat Earth, etc. And they're connected. To make the connection between them all, starting to build our own history, as we take these broken pieces and put them back together to tell our own story, to figure it out for ourselves. Yep. That's exciting to me.
Exactly, man. It makes so much sense how they built all those cathedrals, and with all the cymatics, how they actually did it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's all being hidden right now. So, yeah, man. Love it. So, I guess that's pretty much it, man.
Well, I'm glad that you called in. I'm glad that you stepped up to the plate and gave me a call today. It's nice to meet you.
Yep. All right, man. So you have blocked my thing, but it's all good, man. So.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
it's all good, man.
Hopefully, you're always welcome. Everybody's always welcome. And we'll talk to you again next time.
Gotcha, man.
All right, bye-bye. All right. I love all of the connections that people are making. And I love that you guys are getting so excited about making so many connections. That's the other thing too. I don't like to get stuck on anything. I don't like to get stuck on the flat Earth. I don't want to get stuck on planet flat Earth like I was stuck on planet glob Earth or wandering ball Earth or whatever. I don't want to get stuck on Cabbage Patch Baby Earth. I don't want to get stuck on the old world Earth. I don't want to get stuck on, melted buildings Earth or whatever it may be. I'm an explorer, man. I'm not satisfied with just living on one planet, in one place, and being stuck in one place. I've got to keep moving. It's in my nature. I got to keep moving, Let me turn the phone lines back on. This will be the last call. So the phone lines are back on. This will be the last call for today. Eric says, I believe in Santa. Heather, thank you so much for your donation. 10th super chat. That's her 10th super chat, 10 times donating. I appreciate it. Thank you. Your donations help me to live my life. You know, get food, buy gas, go on trips, all that stuff. Hey, speaking of cathedrals, that's what my newest Chasing the Apocalypse that I'm currently working on right now during this live stream. I'm finishing up my. I went to took a trip to DC and I visited the National Cathedral, and that's the video that I'm editing right now. And I'm talking about dragons and bell antiquitech, bells being antiquitech from the bell towers and stuff, and the Gothic style of architecture. And I'm inside of the cathedral. I went down underneath into the crypt. There's actually 2 crypts. I talk about that on my video too, in the underneath the National Cathedral. This is going to be a very interesting video. So I'm excited for you guys to go check it out if you're a part of my Patreon. All right, let's take this last call.
Call from
Razvan.
To accept,
Very
press
good.
1. To send a voice.
Aloha, this is JayDreamerZ. Who's this?
Hello, Razvan here from Romania.
You're calling me from Romania.
Yes, good evening.
Well,
First
good evening
of all,
to you.
pardon my English. I'm a Romanian speaking language.
That's okay. No problem. I can understand you just fine. It's nice to meet you.
I just wanted to answer your thumbnail question. Why do people absolutely hate this worldview, referring to the flat Earth worldview? My guess is that the people are suffering from the people about 70 or 80% are suffering from cognitive dissonance, and that's why they react this way to this new worldview that is not mainstream. That is my opinion.
Yeah, I see. So because so many people are suffering from cognitive dissonance, what does that mean to you, personally? How do you see so much of the world suffering from cognitive dissonance? What does that look like to you?
Well, when I try to present the evidence that the world is flat, the people react very, very nasty, very, I don't know how to say, violent even. It's like that they are activating an instinct of survival. You can lose friends very easy this way. You can lose family members this way.
Right. Yeah, you can. It can create division between the people because they have a different mentality from one another, and they would like to be closer to each other mentally. Sometimes that feels nice. It's like I always talk about sharing a meal with each other. Like we're doing right now. You and I are sitting at a table, along with other people, other callers, the people in the chat. And we're sharing a nice, lovely meal together. And, sometimes people feel that they're not a part of the table. They're not at the table with everyone else, or that someone else is sitting a bit further away from the table. And, it can stir up feelings of anger and jealousy and distance and resentment in people. I get that.
My opinion is that it's a basic psychological problem, and when normal people that are not used to do documentation or investigation of the facts, when they are hearing things that are not mainstream in their psychic, it activates those kind of response.
Right.
This is what I am trying to say.
So what would you...
I hope you understand.
I do. What would be your remedy? What would be your advice to people who, are going through those types of things to make it better?
I don't have a solution for this problem. I just wanted to mention it to you that I go through this every time when I'm trying to present facts to other people that I know, that is this new evidence using telemetry, using optics, using lasers, using lights, that is proving very clear that the world, the planet, is not a sphere, and they react like you put on your thumbnail.
They just want to break
like
it in
they
half.
are hating.
Yes.
Like they are hating this worldview.
Well, I like to
So
look
my
at.
guess it's a psychic response,
I think you're right.
like an instinct of survival.
Yep, just
that
like a survival
activates-
instinct. Like they feel
Yes,
they
that-
feel threatened, and so they might
Yes, when
bite
you are
back.
presenting those facts to them, they are perceiving you like a threat, like a literal threat to their lives.
Yes. So, I mean, let's think about that. If let's use the analogy of a dog a wild dog that might feel threatened. If you see a dog and you're a dog lover and you would like to go feed that dog, you have some food, some steak or whatever, but the dog doesn't know you and the dog is afraid and he sees you coming near to him and doesn't know that you have something of substance to offer, and it starts to growl and stuff. I wonder what somebody who is a master of working with dogs would do in that situation, how they would adapt and change their demeanor and their physical, how they look physically, their body language and stuff like that, to try to maybe calm the dog down a little bit so that you appear as being more approachable. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand perfectly your analogy, but I think only the mainstream media or the mainstream school or colleges or universities could have the possibility to transmit those kind of new information.
Yeah, that's true too. So to use a biblical verse, we're encouraged not to throw our pearls before swine. So sometimes when we walk past one of those dogs, we need to realize when it's a rabid dog, or I'm just using the expression, when it's a swine, when it's a pig, and when we would be more wise to go feed something that would appreciate the food that we have to offer. Do you think?
Yes, it's like that says don't throw diamonds at pigs.
Yes.
Something like that.
Good idea. Not to throw diamonds at pigs.
I'm very glad that I had the opportunity to speak with you. I'm watching you since 2024 or so, about 2 years or maybe 3 years. It's an interesting point of view, your about the apex and the firmament. It's something pretty new and something very interesting.
I'm glad you think so, and it's nice to hear from somebody from so far away. Tell me if I'm saying this correctly. I'm going to try to say something. Did you speak Romanian? Is that the language?
Yes.
Tell me if this is correct. Encantat de cunostinta.
Încântat de cunoștință.
De cunostinta.
Da, se spune încântat de cunoștință.
Encantat de cunostinta.
Cunoștință.
Cunoștința.
Și A
Close enough.
Unostinza.
I see. Okay. Well, in English, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for calling.
Nice to meet you too. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, very good, very good. That was a very lovely time for me personally. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here today. Please do check out my Patreon. There's a whole chat 24/7 that's going on over on my Patreon. You guys can share pictures, introduce each other, make friends. And like I said, I'm going to be uploading my newest episode of Chasing the Apocalypse, which is going to be about the National Cathedral and just cathedrals in general. After that, I'll probably be moving on to the National Library as a part of my Washington, D.C. trip series. And after that, the Capitol building, probably. Now, I'm going to be going on a trip, and some of you are welcome to come with me. I do have limited tickets to this trip, though. It's for coming with me to the Grand Canyon and going on a hike in the Grand Canyon. Also, going to the center of the world, California, in Felicity. Way down there by like the sand dunes area. If you guys are from Southern California, I think they're called like the Badlands or something. I can't remember. I haven't been there in a while, but they're far out east from the San Diego area. You know, if you go straight east from Chula Vista, El Cajon, San Diego, Santee, places like that. I'll be walking around with some of you, and we're going to be decoding and checking out the center of the world, Felicity. And I'm gonna see if I can get an interview with the mayor as well. And then after that, I'm gonna be doing some meetups in Flagstaff, and I'm gonna be doing a meetup next month in Denver, and I will be doing a meetup finally at the end of that trip in San Diego or the San Diego area. You can find all of that on my website, on my store, on my YouTube shelf, all those different places. But do check out my Patreon. I'm going to be working on the new credits here in a few days, so I will be adding your names to the new credits if you join my Chasing the Apocalypse tier or my credits tier over on Patreon. And until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ, saying good vibes and goodbye.
I try so hard to fade away. Something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier for me if There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. I feel the magic in the chat tonight.